Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. I am your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And I'm Taylor.
Taylor, why are you so smug?
I just find it really funny that I got mocked on Twitter last week, and guess who won the first IndyCar race? Do you want to repeat after Marcus Ericsson? Was it Marcus Ericsson? I think it was Marcus Ericsson. Yeah.
One race. It's early.
But I believe this is the very first time in this show's history that Taylor can gloat.
You're
Yes.
right. Oh, hold on, though.
I'll allow you to have it.
Thank you. Also, Byron won, and he's also on my team, so I'm living it up in the 2 out of 3 series.
Okay, so good job. You're doing great. I can immediately bring you back down to earth with one word.
Yep.
Do it.
Leclerc.
Please, no.
You can just say Ferrari.
Engine.
Yeah.
I honestly debated going to Party City today and buying a clown wig just for the podcast. Because that's what I feel like every single time this happens.
I would have respected you for it more. It's a low bar.
At least it was a thought.
It's a low bar,
I
but
wanted
like,
to
yeah.
find. I know.
You would have been
I wanted
respected.
to find a filter.
Yes. But honestly, as soon as I put that out, I was like, he's going to fucking win this race this weekend just because it makes me and Sean look stupid. And then I went to go bet on it. And then this is my gripe with IndyCar this week is that I could, well, not IndyCar, but we couldn't bet on the race this weekend, which sucked because
No.
that would have been the easiest money we could have ever made. I would have put the mortgage on it. I would have been way ahead.
However,
in life.
I will fully admit, after roasting Taylor's pick for Ericsson for the champion, I also bet on Ericsson for the championship alongside McLaughlin.
That's fair.
Wow. Okay.
He's won more races, I think, the last however many than anyone else, right? He's actually doing really good. I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe Taylor is onto something for that one. But
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not crazy.
Okay, hang on. It's been one race.
Yes.
One race does not a season make. Otherwise, Ferrari would have been the 2022 F1 champions.
That
Okay,
is true.
so let's all pump the brakes a little bit.
Okay, so which race? Because there were multiple this weekend. What race do you guys want?
Triple
to start with
header.
first?
Yay, triple header.
What was your favorite race?
Well, ooh. My favorite race.
They were all very different, which is actually
They
something
were all
refreshing.
very different. I would honestly probably say IndyCar because for me that was like the most positive race.
That's fair. To me, that was the worst race of the weekend.
Wow.
IndyCar, really?
Yes.
Now, is
Well,
that
I mean, I'm
because
always
it was
gonna
bad?
say.
I was gonna say it's not so much that it was bad. It was just the bar is that much higher, sort of thing. Or
Yeah, and also
what-
I don't like St. Pete as a track.
that's fair.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Like,
You're in the Alex Rossi camp of things. I gotcha.
Well, Rossi hates St. Pete too.
Oh, that was his thing in their pre-race podcast was I don't like it. Or no, hang on, sorry, was it the other way? Yeah, one of them didn't like it. I don't remember which.
It's just designed to create wrecks. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's start with St. Pete then.
Okay.
Fine, we can start with St. Pete because I'm already ranting about it. Terrible
Yeah.
track. Awful first sector, which just creates people to hit walls and to crash and to
Or each other.
and literally fly in the air
which is literally what happened.
twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure on Twitter someone put up the whole if this happened, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's still weird that it happened twice. And
Yeah.
that was for the airborne cars.
Yep.
Also A+. I can't remember who said it, but I was dying laughing sitting here.
That's fair. But yeah, IndyCar, like the best part of St. Pete, the track, is restarts. which makes sense that there's so many cautions, but then you have so many cautions, the restart's the best part because you actually don't get a race. You just get, like, Steven, I think you tweeted that at one point, just the final mission of Halo Reach, survive.
Yes,
That's
current
all you
objective
had to do.
survive. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, and it's fun. It's fun talking with. So we're in a different
Group chat.
Discord group. Yeah, and it's fun talking with the Europeans about it.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, what the hell is going on? What sort of chaos American bullshit is this? And it's like, yes, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
And like the one time you actually had a race, you actually had a legit on track race, they take each other out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like, no offense to Marcus Ericsson, Grosjean should have won this race.
Yes.
Yes, yes, he should have. Ugh, that was a mess. And I felt bad for him, and like you definitely could see how frustrated he was after that contact. So he had such a good weekend. It sucks for him, but yay for me and Ericsson.
Wow, just
I'm
completely
sorry,
off
I'm living on this train.
I was
Listen,
gonna say
let her
completely off
have
the
it.
Grosjean
She's
train.
been in pain for how many years?
My one.
I was gonna
She
say
gets one.
completely off the Grosjean chain, but no, I completely forgot she took her Grosjean 9th overall too.
That's fair.
I did take him. So I was also sad about that. The fact that like he had such a good weekend and didn't end up finishing the race.
But in terms of, I guess, great drives, you had, again, surviving was Ericsson, still fast, got to beat Pato. Pato just had an engine fire or something, apparently, that cut his
Pendulum
engine.
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Pendulum.
Mhm.
That's the trigger word of the week.
What is it?
Pendulum fire or
What
something.
is it? What is a pendulum?
So I started looking this up yesterday after the post race interviews,
Nerd.
and yeah, but basically what happened was it is an engine misfire. You're not wrong there, but the specific thing is, like, from what I could gather, is that it's like an air cavity that
Okay.
holds that when that air in that cavity is released into the engine, it provides a boost. So when that misfired, he couldn't get up to speed, which is why Ericsson could pass.
Huh.
That's the
Okay.
rough thing. But honestly, it's weird because everyone seems to have a general idea, but no one can specifically explain this, which is really funny.
Interesting. So it's like,
So-
it's a thing that happens, but we think it happens, but we can't say how
Oh,
it
yeah,
happens.
Scott Dixon has apparently had these happen multiple times before. Like, it's
Huh.
just a fancy
Random.
way of saying the engine misfired in a very specific way.
At a
Oh, okay.
Very specific time there.
Yes.
Coming off the last corner onto the straight while you're leading the race. Not a good time to have that happen.
Bad luck, Pato.
Well, Pato's in it for the long haul. You know, he's going for the championship, right? So,
Yep, exactly.
Not
So,
terrible.
and you know what? In the end, it's still a good result,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
You got
McLaren
Ericsson, Pato, guys who
McLaren,
I think you want up there.
yeah, and McLaren had a good weekend overall, I'd say. Other than
Yeah,
It's-
McLaren and
Ganassi.
Ganassi were the top two teams. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's also what we kind of discussed in our IndyCar preview. Is we all kind of thought Ganassi was going to be really strong, and
They
it's a
always
really good
are.
strong
Yeah.
start for them. They always are. I find it really funny that McLaren did so well this weekend in IndyCar.
we'll get to the F1
Well,
side. We'll get to
I was
that.
gonna
We'll
say,
get
say
to the
that, but no,
F1.
but no, like the McLaren IndyCar team is. I don't think like they were necessarily front runners, but they're still a good team,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like it's not quite their counterparts across the
Yeah.
across the pond.
They did lose
so-
one car.
Exactly.
They lost one car, but that first wreck was very much if you got lucky or not. Like Meyer Shank was the least lucky team this weekend
No,
in that regard.
Andretti.
No.
And well, Andretti,
Oh,
yes, Andretti.
Yes,
But
Andretti.
I guess for that specific wreck, they lost both cars, and who was it? Pagano had the least amount of luck because it's really funny watching the replay. You had Pagano cutting to the right, and he got hit by who? I had it in my notes here. Who did he get? He got hit by Stingray Rob, because Stingray Rob is trying to avoid Rosenquist, I believe,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
DiFrancesco. So he cuts
One of the
right.
two. They were all met in there.
Yeah. So he cuts right rather than cutting left. And on the complete other side of Stingray Rob is Connor Daly. And Connor Daly is like, how the hell did I get through that?
Yeah,
what the hell is going on behind me?
He squeezed through that tiniest gap and somehow was
Yeah.
fine.
No, but that's why Meyer Shank was like the most unlucky in
That's
the
fair.
first 30 seconds there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they lost both
just
cars
complete.
immediately.
Yep. And it's just like, okay, well, let's just pack up and go home, guys. And good to see Helio was okay, because I think he probably came out the worst in that group.
That was a
Devlin
nasty-
DiFrancesco.
Well, Devlin got hit hard, but he was
he hit
got
hard and
out
launched in the air.
Yeah, and he was like completely fine afterwards.
He's small.
Like I don't.
It
Yes.
helps.
Well, it's not
Huh.
like he like landed awkwardly or got like smushed by other cars,
No, but
right?
Yeah.
Landing in those things
Yeah.
hurts.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it hurts. Like, and no
Not to-
matter what happens, a crash hurts.
Like Devlin's a
could-
small guy, and I'm pretty sure his spine compressed even more in that accident.
Mm-hmm.
Just up and straight down, and a little more down there.
Yeah.
I can make
Maybe
that joke.
the-
I'm a short guy. It's fine.
Yes. I was gonna say maybe it's the youthfulness brought him back quickly, because Helio was on the older side, so maybe the hits have taken their toll over the years, and now he's really starting to feel stuff. Because I don't think Devlin did his interview after he was
Yeah.
he seemed completely fine.
Well, in all the wrecks,
Elio's
the guy who was worst off, like Elio was kind of banged up, but like Jack Harvey was the worst, and he was involved in that second one.
Yes, yeah. So that was the Kyle Kirkwood Superman
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah,
The fact that he
that
kept
was
that car
also
running.
good.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
car
that was
just
a little bit
ref-
surprising.
That car refused to die.
Yeah. Indy cars are built
don't
tough.
know
They
how.
really are.
Yep.
Mhm.
And when you see, like, I don't know if you
Kind of a
saw,
series.
did you see Benjamin Peterson's damage to his car?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
the whole front is like missing a whole big chunk out of it. And it's like, yeah,
Ooh.
these cars can take a hit.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get when you T-bone a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Besides the wrecks, that's pretty much the three main ones, right? You had the big one where Devlin went flying, the second one where Kirkwood went flying, and then you had the one where Grosjean and McLaughlin took each other out.
Yeah,
So-
and that one was I don't know, where do you guys sit with that one? I'm curious.
McLaughlin's fault. He
Is
should have backed out.
Mhm.
And he knew that too after. He went and
Yep.
apologized to him. And like
Yep. Yeah.
he should have backed out because he was on cold tires, Grosjean's on the outside. By forcing the issue, he basically got loose and then hip checked Grosjean into the tires. Like, just get him back. You're already right there. The second your tires are coming up to speed next lap, you can get him back. So impatient, but that's just the nature of street racing in IndyCar. When the move's there, you gotta always defend and you gotta always go for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the only reason I asked was, as always, we're going to get two different sides arguing on Twitter. So, and I mean, especially when
There's
Grosjean's
always.
involved, a lot of people are not Grosjean fans. So
Yeah. Also, Grosjean was
Wow.
pissed, and like I think I wish he went out swinging against McLaughlin just for like to have,
Yeah.
like, a fight in the series. But then afterwards, they hug it out. They're like, "I'm sorry, okay." I'm like, man, why can't we have some kind of rivalry in IndyCar? Can everyone stop being friends?
Yeah.
You need to start watching reality TV if you have these desires, because
I watched Drive to Survive. That's close enough.
okay,
And we still have to talk about that. But anyway, yeah.
we still have to talk about that, but
Another guy who I think surprised me in the IndyCar though was Cal Milot. Great race.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
really happy for him. I think is that his best result? I think that's his best result, right? Since he's been in IndyCar.
No, he's
Fifth?
had a podium before.
Has he?
Oh, he has.
I think so. I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the preview.
I do not
But I
recall.
will,
I don't recall that.
Listen,
or maybe I'm.
so many people get podiums all the time. It's hard to keep track, but he had
2020.
no,
No, that was his
that's
best.
his best. Yep.
Oh, Okay,
bad.
that's what
I-
I thought. I was like,
Who
I'm
was I
pretty
thinking
sure.
of?
Good question.
Oh, Christian Lundgaard.
Ah, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
so
Mm.
good for Callum Ilott. I'm really happy to see that. I think obviously I think he's super talented, and it was disappointing to not see him in F1, but I'm really glad that he had a good first race for his, I think it's his second season in IndyCar, right?
Yeah, second full season.
Second?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, we've always said that it does take a kind of like a year to adjust to a new car, and IndyCar is so different than the Formula cars that he was driving in Europe. So good for him, and I'm hoping the best for him for the rest of the season. It'd be awesome to see him get like a decent amount of top 10 showings.
Yes.
So
that's
that
true.
way Taylor can pick him next year
That's
for
fair.
the third Formula One driver.
Speaking of rookies,
Wasn't that a driver, technically?
fair enough.
Formula driver, it's close enough.
So speaking of like rookies, and this is kind of IndyCar adjacent, but I kind of want to mention this before going on to F1. JB Chadwick, first Indy NXT race. You know, the woman who
yeah.
dominated the W Series finally gets put in a very highly competitive, I would say, series. Anyone pay attention to that?
I
No.
did not.
I think she was humbled a bit.
Oh,
Ooh, 14th.
14th, crashed twice. Yeah, she put it in the. Okay, the first crash wasn't her fault. Guy put it in the tires the same place Grosjean did, and she was just behind them and had nowhere to go. Ran up the ass. Wing change,
okay,
fine.
that sucks.
Then she put it in the barrier later on her own, I think, and she finished the race just a lap down. But qualifying, pace wise, also at the back. So again, may take some time to get used to a car, but another rookie also went on to win the race. So.
Okay, well, what's the difference in that rookie's history, right? Like,
Yeah. There was listen, I thought you would want to dunk on Jimmy Chadwick, Taylor. Okay, I thought you would be happy with that news. I know you don't like it.
Look, you have to like take all of that kind of in context, and like, yeah, I'm glad that like maybe she's like humbled a little bit from her success, and she's not, but I don't think anybody would be automatically successful. It was the same. Like, okay, take for example, if Lewis Hamilton went to IndyCar, I honestly don't think he would have a good first season.
No.
Regardless of whether or not he's a good race driver. It's a brand new car. You have to get used to it. So I'm kind of giving her the benefit of the doubt, regardless of my personal feelings about her as like an individual.
That's fair. You know who could go into an IndyCar, though, and immediately be successful and almost win the 500? Fernando Alonso.
Nice segue.
And on that segue, let's talk about Bahrain.
Let's talk about Bahrain. Yay, Aston Martin. Yay.
Yes. The hype train is real.
The hype train is real.
The hype train is 100%. They are the second best car on the grid.
I know. Like, but Sean, isn't it nice to actually have the hype train be real this year instead of like fake and just like opposite of sandbagging?
Yeah. It is so good. I like to actually believe that this team is there and that they are actually competitive and, going to be at the second team for the podium, like challenging for that, fighting Ferrari because Ferrari can't fight up. They have to only fight down. Sorry, I had to take that shot there.
Always.
But yeah, like it is so good. Alonso coming out and getting the podium, I think it was the icing on the cake to the little chirps he made during the race, like, oh, this car is so fantastic to drive, and like he's just really Alonso loves, I think, playing the fans.
Yeah, I think Alonso also, and like correct me if I'm wrong, but he plays a very psychological game too. Like he's just always kind of been that way.
He plays the game, definitely.
Yeah, but like he plays all of the sides. He's got everything going on all of the time.
100% he does, yeah.
Who said, was it, I think it was in regards to Alonso, where he thinks 25% of the race or something like that, and then or I can't remember what it was.
Get your quote
I think
right.
Ocon's. I know, but it was in like Drive to Survive about Alonso and how he drives, and it's just like the way that he just does it is incredible because it's very like it's a natural thing, but he's always analyzing everything that's going on.
That's fair. It makes sense because like his drive was fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost ended in tears because of Stroll. Whoops. In the first lap. A little close.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost ended again. Was it with Sainz? When Sainz was
With
really
Sainz.
slow all of a sudden on the exit, and Alonso's like, "What the hell?"
Well,
Almost went
that's
back of
always
him.
where he had the advantage the entire time they were battling was just on the exit, and I think he just got a little overzealous on that last one.
Yeah, their tire management was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aston being the second car is fantastic. Stroll coming in, what was he, 6th?
Yep.
Beating
P6.
George Russell on pace while broken. This
Laughs in
this
Canadian.
man had surgery 12 days before the race.
2 broken wrists,
2 broken wrists,
a
a
broken
toe.
Oh,
That I think is a great performance.
No, what's it
Testing.
called? No testing on the track you're racing on, which is so basically free practice, 4, 5, and 6.
but did you see like the little moment between Alonso and Stroll after the race finished?
Yeah.
It was so cool, and he's just like, you know what, Lance, like you're my hero. Like that's so great. And they seem
Alonso
to have a
knows where-
good like.
But so here's the thing. Here's
Alonso
I know
knows
where
where
the
his
paycheck
is
comes
coming
from.
But here's the genius of I think having Stroll at that team. There is no point fighting him as a teammate. Because you know no matter what you do, no matter how bad you beat him, he's going to be there anyway. So you don't fight him as your teammate. You absolutely embrace it. It's what Vettel did with Stroll there. It's what Alonso's doing. There's no point because you know you're the better driver. And it's not like one of you wins out and the other gets booted for someone else. He's going to be there regardless. So just do what you can.
Yeah. But I think that's also like a really good environment for Lance to be in because it's just like for him, it's like the best case scenario. He's driving with like veterans of F1 who he can really only learn from. And Alonso is probably one of the best drivers that he could have there to really like learn from and, you know, improve over the course of his career. Because we know it's going to be long, probably as long as Daddy Stroll is still in the mix. But I can only see like Lance just improving year after year.
He's still only 24. Don't forget that. Like he is young.
You ever see
24?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Does it ever make you guys feel so old and like you look at these guys and you're like, man, you're making millions of dollars and here I am sitting in my house. It's
Don't
like
remind me.
Yep.
anyway, tangent. I just did my taxes and I owe money to the government this year, so I'm like a little salty.
Remember the thing where it's like, it's the history repeating itself where it's like 7-time champ, defeated by someone with like 2 wins, then defeated by a guy who's been in the series for how many years is it? It's like 6 or 7?
Yeah.
And everyone always tries to make that Leclerc. What if it's Stroll? What if Stroll is the real champion this year?
Oh,
Okay.
that would be funny, but I doubt it.
That'd be absolutely hilarious.
It would be, but I doubt it.
100%. But yeah.
So,
Yeah, because the sad thing is Red Bull are fucking great.
I know. They are what Mercedes was for 8 years. Just completely dominant.
They weren't even as fast as they could have been. They were taking it easy.
Which is crazy. Like the pace that they had was insane.
They gotta be doing something like sneaky, right?
After
Yeah.
last year, why not?
I know, right?
$7
I
million?
don't know.
Okay, take it out of the championship fund.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is unbelievable their pace, and Verstappen looks absolutely unbeatable.
Yeah. like at this point, I think who else said it? Oh, Russell. Russell said he was like, honestly, at this point, I think it's just gonna be Max. Like, I would expect Max to win every single race this season.
Could you imagine? You're punting on a season after one race.
For one race. That's all. Like it just takes that. I mean, they were crazy. They were what 30 seconds ahead of
Yep.
everybody else
Taking it easy.
before pit stops.
Yeah,
And if that's taking it easy, that's crazy.
100%. Like I don't know how anyone takes the fight to Red Bull.
I know. Like, what are their engines powered by? Red Bull?
I don't
I don't know.
like what tracks could anyone be competitive at? Like the twisty ones? Like a Monaco?
I don't even know if it's gonna
a
matter.
Hungary? I honestly,
Maybe. Yeah, because Bahrain sort of it has a little bit of everything, right? Like,
though,
and if
Yeah.
they're pulling that far ahead,
where the Astons were the fastest was Sector 1 and Sector 2, which means straight line speed and out of corner. That's
So
that's a Monza winning car right there.
yeah.
Yes.
And possibly Canadian Grand Prix. That would be a great one.
I might buy
Lance
some.
Stroll
I might buy.
wins the Canadian Grand Prix
I
in
would
Montreal.
I'd lose my mind if that happened. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Would you? You know what
Putting it out
sucks
there.
though
Just
is
putting it
that
out
they don't hand out free stuff unless you're in the Lance Stroll grandstand, which is like super money. So, oh well. Maybe if Lance Stroll wins, they'll hand out free stuff.
Would be nice.
That would be nice.
T-shirt cannons everywhere.
Yep.
I'll report back if anything fun happens.
You're just assuming we're not gonna go?
Well, I sent you guys all of the information and you never said anything else, so I hope you're going, because I'm going.
It's a safe assumption we won't, to be honest. We're cheap.
And poor.
Exactly.
Yeah, same thing.
So, well, again, it's fine. You know what? I'll marshal it like next year, and
That's
I'll get
fair.
you guys free ticks.
So yeah, Red Bull obviously great, fantastic. Aston Martin second best, definitely on pace, especially with Alonso. Maybe who knows what would have happened with Leclerc, but Ferrari third best, I think we could say. Unlucky for
Can
Leclerc.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard
Well, I
to
mean,
say.
Ferrari has already Ferrari'd, and they Ferrari'd before the race even started.
They had some electrical issue with that car.
Yeah,
They
but
did.
you get two, and they've already replaced it. You get two for the entire year, and you're replacing it before the first race.
Yeah, they had some
I
kind of
just-
issue there and did not
I
go
just
well.
don't want to talk about it. It's just so sad. My hope has been dashed in one race.
Like how Red
But
Bull's
as a
hope was
Ferrari
last year.
fan,
At this point, I would have bet on anyone to win besides Max, just because he won the first race.
well, the
yeah,
odds would
well-
be fantastic.
Exactly.
And the curse, we'll see if Red Bull and the cost cap. Well, Red Bull can beat the cost cap plus the curse.
It really comes down to development, and I think Red Bull's already saying they're going to bring developments, like they're going to bring developments hard on this car, because they have to get it fast out of the gate. See if anyone can catch up.
Yep.
Because you're not going to develop it later in the year. You can't.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure by Canadian Grand Prix that Red Bull car is max developed.
Yeah, probably.
They don't have the resources because they're not allowed to have them.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a good test for the cost cap.
Yeah.
Where does that put them for penalties? Because, I mean, if you are to believe the principles, and where they said, well, we might just have to break the cost cap since the penalties are so low. Okay, let's see if you do it. Two, if Red Bull's struggling all of a sudden in the back half of the year because they can't develop the car. Let's see how many of those principals that said they were going to do it and actually put their balls on the table and do it. Let's see if they're still liking that decision in the back half of the year when they get penalized.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's be honest, there was them blowing a bunch of smoke saying that they would just break the cost cap. They're not going to do it.
No, the FAA would just say, "Fuck it, fine, massive penalties. If
Yeah.
everyone's going to do it, we're
Yep.
going to hammer everyone."
Yep. It was a warning last year. Now, since you all said you were going to do it and you did do it, you know what? We're giving you double the fine, twice the amount of taken off in the wind tunnel, whatever else they want to throw out.
I'd be fine with that.
So,
can anyone of the big three sniff at the other guys?
I'm gonna say no, probably not.
I think Aston could. They're the only.
Wow.
No, but they're the only one that legit has a chance.
After that performance, yes, because Ferrari has proven they haven't done enough.
Mhm.
And you can't really lay that at the feet of Fred Vassar. The man's been there for about a minute total.
Yeah.
So
I think it was Craig Scarborough, I think, on Twitter was basically examining the Aston car and comparing it kind of to the Red Bull. The Aston has like the most simplified floor of any car. And the floor is a massive upgrade that can bring a lot of performance. So if Aston can maybe get a second out of that floor by developing it, that would be huge. And they have the time to do it. They have the resources because they finished so bad last year. That could be alarming mid-season if they are actually on pace with Red Bull.
Yep. Well, and so I think the big X factor here, outside of Red Bull falling back, will be actually Lance. Because if he's at, say, 70-65% right now, what is his ceiling for this year now with this car? Because he's again, we've talked about it before, we're not shy to say that we are Lance fans and that he gets sort of a bad rap. Is that somewhat Canadian bias? Yes, that is somewhat Canadian
100%.
bias. But
Like maybe,
it is
but it's
also
also true.
Yes, he has won at multiple levels before this. It is not purely just I have daddy's money. He's not a Nikita Mazepin.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
Mazepin,
So-
no, nothing.
Yes. So,
He was also trash. Like he was just trash.
yes. So, what is Stroll's ceiling? That's going to be what dictates the fight. Because I don't think Fernando himself can go challenge Max for the drivers. But depending on where Lance can take advantage of any Red Bull shortcomings to help Aston maximize on points, that could be where it happens. And he's proven to not be a great Saturday driver, and I mean that's still sort of held true this weekend.
He made Q3. Fuck off.
He did make Q3, but if the car's as good as they say, he shouldn't miss Q3.
Exactly.
So,
Unless, track limits.
yeah. So,
Mm.
we'll see what his ceiling is.
Like, okay.
'Cause he's proven to be able to bring home a half decent car on race day.
Is a healthy Lance Stroll a 10th faster a lap?
Yeah, I'd say
Maybe.
so.
Probably. So given that, he probably beats Hamilton and Sainz if he's just a 10th faster for your lap.
Yeah, well, so if you want to even just look at this weekend, he probably could have caught Hamilton if he's not injured and if he's not injured, he probably catches him. Or if he is injured as he is and they don't have the safety car late.
Fair.
I think he had the pace to catch him.
He also did make a mistake in, what was it, like turn 9, I think, or turn 10, one of those two,
Mhm.
when he went wide. So, Like, Russell finished like a second and a half behind him, so he was close, but like Stroll, Stroll I think was hanging on at the end in terms of his health.
Yes, and they probably told him take it easy. You gotta, you don't push it at this point because they probably had the data to say after the safety car we're not catching Hamilton.
Yeah. Speaking of Hamilton though and Mercedes, they're already talking about punting on the season, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
You think they should after one race just be like, yep, season's a wreck, right off, new car.
For their level of what they expect from themselves, yeah, probably. that car's still nowhere near where it should be in terms of contending for any sort of title. In terms of trying to get prize money, I mean, they're still gonna. It's not like they're just gonna be like, oh well, we're just gonna completely punt. We're gonna fall behind a Williams.
Yeah.
So,
Still,
yeah, I don't see it being a.
they're in a sticky
like-
situation.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. They're probably gonna be that P4 spot, depending on like if they can keep the car on track.
Yeah.
That's probably the best they can hope for if Aston Martin continues the way they are. Ferrari is halfway competent. Okay, maybe they do have a chance at P3.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
No, they should be P4, and I like maybe P5 if things go really bad in Alpine, everything goes really right.
Well, speaking of Alpine, Pierre Gasly had a fantastic race.
He did.
Horrible Saturday.
Unlucky.
Horrible Saturday.
Unlucky Saturday. You know, track limits and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Time deleted, all that.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I would say Gasly had a horrible Saturday. Fantastic race to go from last on the grid to win the points. Thank you for winning me money.
Oh, I was happy for him though because I think he's finally in a situation that's going to be way better for him than being like in a team where he kind of knows that he can't really move up or go anywhere. So, the Alpine car does look strong. I mean, Ocon got hit with a lot of stupid penalties this weekend, so I'm really interested to see how the rest of the season is going to play out for them and how that car is going to perform on track going forward.
I mean, the way Ocon performed, he had the race from hell with penalty.
Yeah. Penalty for not doing the penalty correctly.
Yes.
Which
Ugh.
I don't understand. Yeah, Ocon was like, just get me out of this car.
Like, I'm just done.
Yeah, he had a rough one. But yeah, I think the Alpines will do good. I think they actually showed they do have pace when not penalized. Like, Gasly's run into the points, I think, was great. Like, there's definitely a top 5, bottom 5. And you even had Williams in the points in the first race.
They had a good weekend. Albon showed he has pace.
Sargent was 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you got to give a lot of credit to that Williams team. Like it's sort of the same thing. Like, while we can't put the blame on Vassar, we also can't praise James Vallis because he has been there for about 30 seconds versus Fred Vassar for a minute. So that Williams team has done a great job developing something for this year that isn't going to just be putting around in the back.
Yeah, they're a solid midfield choice.
Yep.
And yeah, Yuki showed his dominance in AlphaTauri. Good for him. So everyone who kind of like was the veteran definitely put it to the rookie. And I think that's a good stepping stone for like all the rookies to know, okay, I'm not too far off my veteran teammate, either in De Vries or in Sargent. The Haas seems to have that issue again where it's a very fast qualifier. And back it goes.
Yep.
Doesn't help when your wing gets taken off.
No.
Which, again, it was a Haas that lost an end plate. I was laughing on that first lap.
Yes. Oh, did you guys see what happened when they changed that front wing?
No, what happened?
So
No.
it was, you have two guys, one on either side of the wing, right?
Yep.
That are taking it off. So they take it off and they're not the ones putting the new one on. So they instantly just run out of the way. And one guy was running backwards. Yeah, he fell right over a tire that was just sitting on the side.
Oh my god.
If you go back,
No.
watch the replay of it. Just look to the left of the screen, and you'll just see a guy trip over a tire.
That is funny.
Oh.
I felt bad, but at the same time, it was funny as hell.
And then you got McLaren.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
See why?
Okay, I'm not
why
gonna
couldn't-
lie.
Why couldn't my computer crash during this part? Because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. this was funny as heck for me because so I had actually just finished the episode with Auntmar talking about the whole Piastri situation. So I was like, you know what? That was actually kind of really scummy. And then to watch Piastri not even finish, I'm like, lols.
There was a bit of karma there.
There was
was-
a lot of karma. That right there was like the epitome of you get what you kind of have coming for you. So
Yeah, that was the racing gods. And way down at the front of the pit is just Daniel Ricciardo just doing a full lean back, like looking down. Hey, how's it going down there, guys?
Yeah, well, his team is how many seconds ahead?
Yep.
And then
Oh, yeah.
Alonso on the podium also. Well, Alpine, glad I'm not there anymore.
Yep.
Again,
Yeah.
everyone seems to be happy except McLaren, who started everything.
Yep.
So
gonna lie, I'm sorry, but like we can talk about Drive to Survive like in full, but I will say Zach Brown does not get a good edit.
he is a dick in
He
that
comes
show.
off, oh yeah, like he comes off so scummy and just so shady to deal with, and kind of every single situation that he had his hands in was not one that was very positive. So
Yeah.
I think perhaps this might be a little karma coming his way for McLaren after all of the shenanigans that were pulled last season. Even with the whole Polo drama too. So I don't know. What goes
Yeah.
around comes around, Zach. That's all I can say.
That is very fair.
Oh, the season will be pain.
So,
I'm sorry.
anything else for F1, or is that kind of all?
Yeah, I think we can move on to NASCAR.
And first of all, the big news in NASCAR this week was Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Broke his leg
Breaking
skiing or snowboarding?
Yeah, it was snowboarding accident.
I don't know how you
Yep.
do that, to be honest.
Hit a tree.
Actually, that is a really good. Yeah, he probably like hit a tree.
He
or
broke his
something.
shin bone, like his tibia. Which,
Oh,
again,
ouch.
I don't know. Okay, the only way I can think you do that is if you try to hit a rail and you miss and you stick your leg into the rail. It's the only way I think you can break your leg. Because
Maybe.
like I used to snowboard quite a bit. Like I know it is very hard to break your leg snowboarding. Unless it twists, and that's the only other thing also. But more likely it's your knee that goes first.
All of this sounds so painful.
Someone who had knee surgery, please stop this.
Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, it's a weird injury, and he's out for a few weeks.
Undetermined.
Yeah.
Determined.
Uh,
So,
Well-
Sean.
I'll get yeah. Can I get a replacement pick in my fantasy team?
No.
That's me that needs a replacement pick,
Oh, it's
dumbass.
you? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it's you?
yeah. You took Larson.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, that's fine then. So, Steven, do you
know what?
Steven,
My
do you want a
pity.
replacement?
Do I have to replace it for the full time, or is it?
Yeah,
No!
yeah. As long as he's out, you can
No.
replace him.
Okay.
No.
I
No,
take
no,
Paul
no.
Wallace.
Stop.
Yeah, that's
It is
fine.
not fair.
However, it
Absolutely
counts
not.
next week.
All
It
right.
doesn't count for this week.
No.
Bastards.
X.
Okay, I'll have to
Excuse
research.
me.
Okay.
No, I honestly it's
Objection.
whatever. I will. If in doubt, I can take my lumps and hope he has a Kyle Busch-esque comeback where he just rattles off 4 wins straight and wins every stage.
Well, with
And
the
I mean,
playoffs,
Yeah,
he already
exactly.
has a chance. So
Yeah. Well, and so I'm just trying to go back and find, because someone had pointed out that the number 9 car did not have a driver listed for this upcoming week's race.
what are you trying to say?
I don't know.
Are you saying he's gonna be
That's-
back?
That's just what someone said.
No, I imagine
Okay.
they don't know who's gonna
No.
replace it because Barry didn't do too well.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
If
But-
anything,
Oh.
Someone with
maybe-
Chase Elliott on their fantasy team can hope. Okay.
Okay, if you could have one guy replace Chase Elliott, who would it be?
Ooh, what's coming? Hang on, what's the schedule coming up? 'Cause that does somewhat. Like Cindric's had a good start to the year.
Phoenix is next.
Ooh, Truex has a good
No,
start.
no.
And he's usually good at Phoenix.
If you're Hendrick Motorsports and you got to replace
Oh.
Chase Elliott, who are you going to put in that car?
Oh, good question. Barry didn't have a good week. I don't know. Maybe no. Trying to think of who they have available to them.
Can you put Jimmy Johnson in?
Yeah. That'd be a good
Yeah, why
option.
not?
I mean, he's not full time, but he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's there.
He's got some free time.
Yeah.
Okay, can I do that instead? I'll just take whoever's in the 9 car.
Okay, sure.
No,
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
No, that's
No!
fair.
That's
That's fair.
I disagree.
No, it's worse.
That's fair.
That's worse for him than
That is,
getting whoever.
that is the most. Okay,
Fine.
fine. I'll take whoever wins the next race.
Oh, fuck off.
Or
No,
You
Fine,
can't take Kyle
fine.
Larson.
he's already picked.
okay, here I will take Kevin Harvick because he's 3rd in points right now.
I hate you. Okay. Anyway, so the NASCAR race actually
we're not.
was honestly one of the cleanest races of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
had,
only
like-
had like a couple of mishaps,
I
but
think there
nothing
was,
that
like,
was like too big.
2 cautions, and like realistically, it was like a guy hit the wall and slowed down. So like, it wasn't even like a wreck or anything. And yeah, it was a very very
wait,
clean race.
the one that forced overtime.
Yeah.
Amarola.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
you could have gotten away with that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst race.
NASCAR
wreck ever.
like 15 years ago, yeah, you just pull into the pits. There's no caution flag.
Yep.
However, this is NASCAR. This is overtime, and what was it? Kyle Larson kind of got fucked out of the win.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was also Byron's day. He did dominate for most of the day.
Yeah, he led what
Yeah.
was it, 124 laps or something like that. It was something stupid.
Yeah, he had a very good day.
Every time I like checked in, it like Byron was leading, so I was like, woohoo!
Like, you know, if
Yay!
Chase Elliott's in that car, it's a Hendrick 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes,
Like, it's
100%.
amazing how good they are there. And the annoying thing is, I bet on Bowman and Larson. I'm like, I'll take 2 of them.
And you guessed wrong. And Byron
Twitches.
probably, Bowman definitely had the longest odds.
He did.
That's
Wait,
yeah.
you didn't bet on Reddick?
No, my bets actually were Larson, Bowman.
Wow.
I had Chastain, Kyle Busch, and who's the other one? Someone else who's up there. I can't remember who else. I think it was Hamlin. I think it was Hamlin. Yeah, Hamlin.
Hamlin was up there.
Yeah, he
All
he
had
fell
decent
back in the-
races.
yeah, Hamlin
Oh.
was like top 5 and
Oh,
fell
yeah.
back in the restart.
Sorry,
Yeah.
11th. Both Toyotas, like Truex was first off, and he fell back to 7th.
Yeah.
He just got eaten up.
Yeah. He did, and he got like it was quite slow, like on the finishing or the last 3 laps in overtime. It was I don't know, like he just got overtaken and eaten up by the field.
It happens.
That's why you don't want to be the first guy.
No, you really
Ever.
don't. So, anyway. Honestly, it was actually a decent NASCAR race. I actually enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was very good to have on there, as I just did my other things the afternoon. It's how I like my NASCAR. Where it's like it's like background noise, where I kind of have to pay attention to it. I see what's happening. I understand it, but just the cars going around. It's nice and soothing. I enjoyed it.
And it's kind of sad at the same time that you don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
that-
will
it's such a-
say
Because again, it's cookie cutter strategy.
yeah,
Mhm.
because there is
I
no.
will say
there's
that-
not a whole lot of actual.
There is
Change, yeah.
there's zero nuance to strategy other than the final stint.
That's fair.
Mhm. Well, y'all were onto something because I actually paid attention this weekend. So
Oh, really?
I did. I had it up on my screen, and then I went to play cards with my family. But I was constantly checking in on the standings and who was where, and just seeing what was up in the incidents on track. So, it's not that I'm a NASCAR fan. I'm just paying attention.
That's all that matters.
To actually care. about who wins.
That's fair.
'Cause I want my bragging rights.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, we're getting our asses kicked, Sean. By the
Yeah,
way,
I'm not even looking at like I'm pissed off. Taylor's basically winning and everything. Not F1 fans, but everything else.
yes. IndyCar's 1 week. I
Yeah.
mean, you get lucky for a week. It happens. NASCAR, it's been 3 races. So
So yeah. Anyone have anything else to talk about the races? News, anything?
News-wise, we didn't cover it last week because we were doing our previews. So we can quickly mention that the team principals seem to be up in arms again about Andretti possibly joining F1.
Shocker.
So they keep forgetting that there's an actual agreement that dictates things, and they want to raise the price that someone has to pay to actually come in because to equal out what they would be losing in prize money or something like that. Yes.
yeah, it's a dilution because you'd have an extra team to share with now.
Right. So, I don't really have much to say about this other than
Growing
Stop.
the sport gets you more money, gets you more eyes, gets you more sponsorship. There is
Yeah.
nothing fucking bad about having an extra team on the goddamn grid. Why the
I
heck?
don't know what the problem is.
In every other sporting league, growth and expansion, adding teams is a good thing.
Mhm.
You don't hear other teams bitching, but oh, we're going to lose fans to this team, or we're going to lose, I don't know, TV main games to this team. Who cares? Because the overall growth helps the damn sport.
Yeah, if you're purely worried about your money, just have your team be good so that way you can still get your money.
Have a better sponsorship deal.
Exactly.
Hire someone
Yeah.
who's better at marketing. I don't know. There's so many other things you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And getting
And also-
into that and getting into the American market opens up more sponsorship opportunities.
And I mean, so who's it mostly complaining? It's the McLarens, the Alpines. Who else has been noted?
McLaren's
It's
are
not really-
covered in sponsors. I don't see what they're
Yeah.
mad about, and they have a
No, but
they
Yeah, I
have
don't
a-
know.
Yeah.
So
They've got
we should
Google.
we need to kick McLaren out of IndyCar because clearly they're not. They shouldn't be there or something. I don't know. That's like the same fucking
Yeah.
logic.
But Ferrari isn't complaining, Red Bull isn't complaining, Mercedes isn't complaining. I mean,
Williams.
not. Yeah, I mean, not.
Williams is
I mean,
complaining.
well, Williams is probably
Haas.
like, oh, we could have a team behind us. Yes, excellent. We could get
Yeah.
more money. But it's weird. The team that gets the $90 million legacy fund, oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. The teams that have been the 2 championship and get the double championship bonus of 30 million or whatever it is now. I'm working off some old numbers here.
But also,
Weird how
but
those
look
teams-
at McLaren and Alpine. Those are the teams who support Andretti the most.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because McLaren says sure, bring him in. It's fine. It's good. Zach Brown gets that. It's good for the sport, the growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alpine, Alpine gets a customer out of it.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
weird.
So those teams should
It's
be
so
fine with it.
weird.
They've supported it. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the big teams
Well,
who are bitching
and-
also.
Yeah.
Who you're not even
Well,
going to fight
and-
these guys on track. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then it's 3. Haas is putting up a big stink because no, we're the American team. Okay, but you're not. You say you
Yeah,
are. You're not.
But you're really not.
We got a German and a Dane racing for us. Not
I
that there's
just-
anything wrong with that, but
I don't know. The whole thing to me is just honestly stupid. Just let the man have his team. He clearly wants it enough that he's pulling all the strings he can to meet the requirements. But also when is it going to stop being the money is more important than the actual sport itself?
Never. Always money. It's the way everything is. Money is king.
Yeah, which is annoying.
But
that is how the world works.
yes. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's the way it is.
Yep,
And we just kind of
so-
gotta deal with it. Andretti will maybe. I don't know if Andretti will get his team. I want to see him get his team, but I also know that he is trying to break down every single barrier they put in the way. And not even to mention the fact that like it's bringing in American manufacturer too, and
Yeah.
more money. Like
I feel by 2020 they'll have a car on or 2 cars on the grid in 2026.
okay,
Okay.
that's bold.
Because I have a feeling like we have 5 engine manufacturers or engine suppliers coming in, possibly with Honda and Audi. I think they're gonna have to.
You need more teams.
Yeah, because I guess the other
Mhm.
little bit of side news is McLaren was apparently talking to Red Bull Powertrains about an engine.
Mm.
So like, okay, so that was one of your possible. Oh, could Audi go there or Honda go there? Okay, so there's another customer team for a top team
Yep.
that's just moving from Mercedes to Red Bull. You're gonna need another team to because now you finally have the engine growth to do this as well. Because now there's more people that want to put an engine in one of these cars.
So then
And you're
have,
gonna let
have
that
more
go?
cars. Like
Yeah,
it's-
and you're gonna let that go. I feel like the FIA's hand is gonna get forced eventually. There's too much money coming in,
Yeah.
and eventually, like they can't just always bow down to the current F1 teams. When they, by the way, they have a deal in place to add up to 3 more teams.
Mhm.
You guys
Mhm.
agreed to this. Don't be pissed now that a team has come forward
It's because
saying, "Yeah, we
they
want."
Yeah,
wanted,
exactly.
They wanted manufacturers to join. That's it. They
Yeah.
wanted big name manufacturers. They didn't want privateer teams, but privateer teams make F1. They always
Mhm.
have. Besides, like Ferrari started as a privateer team that built cars. McLaren privateer team eventually built cars. Mercedes, that team started out as, was it Tyrrell?
I think
I
so.
think it was Tyrrell. That team started out as privateer team back in the day. Eventually became Mercedes. What was it? Red Bull. That's not a manufacturer. That's a privateer team. Williams privateer team. Sauber is a privateer team. You need more teams. You're not going to get manufacturers coming in because you had that in 2008, and the second shit hit the fan, they all left. Right now, the economy of the world, shit's hitting the fan, and people want to join F1. Fucking let them.
Yep.
That's,
You know what it
that's all I
probably
got.
is a bunch of people are seeing the American money starting to flow in and they don't want to lose their cut because they feel like it'll be a short-lived thing. They want to get their cash and then leave.
That's,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's why I think by 2026, once some of the hype dies down in the Americas,
That's fair.
they'll be like the Andretti will be in, because then it'll be okay. We're losing American money. How do we keep American money? Yes, Mr. Andretti, please come in. We need your help getting the Americans back into our pockets.
Fair enough.
So I don't know.
Anyway, I think that's all we got on that topic. Last thing I wanted to end the show with, have a little overrated or not overrated, underrated, over unders.
There you go.
I gave everyone an over under to basically put forward to the group, and everyone can either agree or disagree or have a little bit of discussion. First one I wanted for the group was Max Verstappen, 15 wins on the year, over or under.
So is it?
15 wins on the year?
Hang on,
Sorry,
hang on.
14 and a half.
Over.
14 and a half.
I was gonna
wins.
say, are we saying he beats his record or just ties? Because that's a big
Okay,
difference.
we'll say ties or beats. 14 and a half wins.
Beats.
Oh,
Easy.
23
I'll take the over
races.
on that.
Yeah, I think I got to lean on the over.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the over too.
Okay.
That means you made the line. You made the line too low. Horrible.
But
Horrible booking.
funny thing is, I saw today there was an actual bet for like plus 11. I think it was plus 1,200 for Max to have, I think, 14 plus wins or 15
Oh,
plus.
wow.
Yeah,
Which book is this on? I'd like to take some of that action.
it was on Bet365. I think it's down
Okay.
now. But yeah,
Damn
I
it.
saw that. I tried to do it, and I was like, it's down. I'm like, oh, they set that way too low.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
I kind of wish I had looked more before the season, but oh well. Yeah. After this weekend, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I know how much we said the back half of the season could hurt. It's gonna be tough. So, you said you had 2. Did you want to do your other one, or did you want us to go
No,
through?
you guys can go do whatever ones you want, and I'll finish.
Taylor, you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Go first.
Okay, I will crush your soul then. Okay, so I didn't know if we were gonna do just F1 or if it was for anything. I assumed it was just F1. So, I also had a similar thought to Sean in we need to knock Taylor down a peg for how well she's doing in other series. So I decided to count up the amount of times that Ferrari finished outside the top 6 last season. And we're going to consider that a bad result. So how many bad results does Ferrari have? If you want to count up last season, they had 9 DNFs, which
Oh my
honestly,
gosh.
that seemed like a lot more than I thought. And 5 times where they finished outside of the top 6 between the two drivers. That leads to a roughly 30% poor result, we'll call it. I was going to say catastrophic. It's not.
It's
overly,
bad.
You
but
know,
anyways.
what
So-
is it with like why do you gotta like tear my heart out and stomp on it in the
So,
process? You know what I mean?
Because it's fun.
I will
It's
say under.
no. Whoa, I didn't even tell you what the line is.
Well,
yet.
if you're going based on the same as last year, fine. Say the line.
No. We're not. No. Because I'm gonna assume Mercedes is not sniffing a top 6 too often here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna 14 times total, but in 46 races, 2 drivers times 23.
Good math.
Yes, I do excel there. I put the line at 10.5. They're technically already at 1.
Oh, that's too low. I'll hit over.
Yeah. Okay.
Under.
I'll hit 12.
12. Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
Taylor's
hit the
going under.
Where the
I
f- is my train?
I think even with Fred Vassar, I agree with Sean. It'll be close, but it'll be slightly over.
Okay. Well, you know what, y'all?
But like even Rex and getting into like this shit happens. Like
Shit happens, but even again,
Mhm.
shit happened last year, and they were at 14.
engine failures.
still think-
Rex,
yeah.
just
Yeah,
bad
so if you take out-
results.
Yes, but I think if you take out a lot of the DNFs and stuff, I don't think they're gonna have 9 DNFs again.
That's fair.
I hope not.
Like
They better
signs randomly catching on fire. We didn't even talk about Joseph Newgarden doing the exact same thing this weekend.
True.
Leclerc just saying, "Nah, I don't feel like racing in France today," and going into a corner.
That's fair. But yeah. Anyway.
Right.
Eh,
All the strategy bungles, all of that.
more races though. Or one more race.
That's true. But anyways, I still lean slightly on the over. I think
I'll hit the over. Bit over.
they'll be slightly improved, but I think we still saw Ferrari has lots of warts to work out.
Taylor.
Yes, they do. But I've got some hope. Okay. Okay, so I'm kind of making mine up on the spot. Mine does not refer to any past stats because it involves Aston Martin, and this is purely just we'll see what happens. So let's go over under on Aston Martin podiums. Now this is both Alonso and Stroll, so either one of them. It just as a team, we'll go Aston Martin podiums. How many we think, and I'm setting the line, a hopeful line, at 6.
Over.
Okay.
I would.
I think over as well.
Or they need
but
5
not by
podiums.
much.
5 podiums in 22 races. I think they can do that.
Yeah, I would say over, just because I don't think races where Red Bull falls out, like they just need one car, either Red Bull or Leclerc, to fall out, and they'll probably get there. So yeah, I'll say the over.
Okay. I'm also going to take the over on this.
Okay.
Line's too low.
Yep, too low. Bring it up.
But like also, the only reason I'm setting it at 6 is because I feel like if I go over that, it's like, okay, well maybe we're doing too hopeful for like the first year that after the first race, the first year that the car is actually really good. So
Like if Leclerc
we'll
didn't
see.
fail, if Leclerc didn't have a suspension failure, they were not getting a podium this race.
Yeah.
correct.
So
So
yeah.
it's hedging the bet on whether or not like Ferrari is going to struggle a lot more this season, or if this was just an unlucky race.
fair enough. Okay, and my final one to y'all is, how many winners do we have in F1 this year?
Ooh.
Over, under, 4.5.
Over. Oh, wait. Hold on. Under.
I was gonna say
Under 1.
you're putting yourself in a big trap there.
Yeah. No, sorry. I remembered all of Russell's comments. I'm gonna take the under, and maybe we'll see like somebody else other than Verstappen. Maybe Perez will win one, but I would say like it's gonna be 1 or 2.
4.5.
4.5.
I'll take the under.
I'll take the over.
Ooh.
So who do you have? Perez has to be up
Both
there.
Red Bulls. Both Red Bulls.
Both Ferraris.
Alonso. I would go Leclerc. And
You gotta
then-
say like Lance Stroll.
No, but
for a
I
win.
think you could see like a surprise one somewhere.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like you're in a bit of a trap there if you're saying over on Verstappen wins, and then we're gonna get 4 different winners from the last 9 races.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay, interesting. I'm still gonna take the
Stroll,
under,
Stroll
but
could win Monza.
okay.
Monza has been
Okay.
the one where everyone random wins.
It's true.
Traditionally, yes. I mean, more often than not, yes.
Leclerc wins Monaco just to finally seal that, so Ferrari fans can have something.
Nah, that can't be it.
Yeah.
Just give me one thing. Give me one hopeful comment about Ferrari. Just one.
Once they show me that
Fine.
I have
Ferrari
something to hope.
both finish a race. There you go. That's hopeful.
That's not hopeful.
Ferrari
it-
doesn't
you know,
do
take
something
what you can get.
embarrassing slash Ferrari doesn't do something embarrassing slash stupid.
Yes. Hopeful is Lance Stroll 2024 champion. Anyway, on that note,
I'm gonna go put money on that right now.
yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
win that.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.